Let's do our little intro, Ben. Even if we're not in the mood for it.
I do like a little intro.
Yeah, what's coming up?
It's a pretty big show this week, as it is every week.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
We talked to Steven Kostanski about Frankie Freako,
Yes, if you're a big fan of cult films, then this is definitely one for you.
which makes its VOD debut around now. We talk about the year that was 2001 and the many, many, many excellent films that came out that year.
I think it's going to be a struggle.
I agree.
We have a movie battle between Innerspace and Dreamscape. Yeah.
Now, I'm very interested to
me too.
to hear what you think about
I
this
think that
one.
conversation is going to go in a different direction to what I thought it would, so this will be very interesting. And lots more.
Hello, hello, and welcome to Good Movie Monday, the third finest Australian film podcast on the internet.
Third most recommended
Yeah.
of all of them.
I wonder if that list they're in order, or it's just like this is just the list and we just happen to be third. But hey, we'll take that win. Even though we haven't had a review on iTunes since like 2014, which I think is before I joined the show, so they're talking about
Yes.
someone else.
I mean, we have not signed up for that particular platform. They've just taken, like, I guess they've aggregated from other, like, from
other-
Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, all that.
Yeah.
And
They're all the same.
Yeah.
But the they're all
whatever the case, like, we're number 3. And
We're number 3, and we'll take it
That's why you listen to us.
because this is the home of nerdy cinematic ramblings.
And should we also say, like, if you've read that article and thought, I'll give them a listen, and this is your first episode, we're a visual medium as well, so you can go to YouTube and Facebook, or even goodmoviemonday.com, as Ben just said, and watch us. That's up to you. That's your prerogative, whether you want to do that or not. You might take one look and go, right, back to Spotify.
I would. But I hadn't yet mentioned, but I will now mention, you can check us out at goodmoviemonday.com.
I could have sworn you just said it.
No. Well, look, you'll get to see in the edit.
From there, you can
From there.
click through through to all of our social media platforms. Facebook's
Yes.
the main one, but we're on all of them. We are.
Instagram and the YouTubes, especially for the video content, as Glenn mentioned.
And we do have a joint OnlyFans account, Benefer, I think it's called.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get a lot of people who are very disappointed expecting AI Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez porn, but some stick around. Enough to keep the show going anyway.
That's because some people call me Glennifer. Anyway, you know.
Yes.
Okay,
That's really thrown me for a loop. But we did brave the Melbourne weather just this last week and saw the new James Gunn Superman
We
film.
did. I wore gloves. It was that cold. I was waiting outside for an hour before you even rocked up. And it was.
Yes.
They wouldn't let us in because there was like a school holiday session of something else beforehand. It's
The elephants?
It's IMAX, so there's only one screen, and you have to wait for the previous session to come out.
Come out.
I don't know what it was.
I don't understand why. Like, people can just be
Yeah.
in the lobby. I guess there's nothing stopping you from just turning around and going back into another session.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, we saw
but-
Superman.
We did see Superman.
Now, this is going to be an interesting conversation. I know exactly where you're going to go with this one. And
Oh, okay.
I kind of had a bit of an opinion when I came out of it, but my opinion has softened. And look, I enjoyed this film. I'm not going to rave about it. I'm not going to say it's like the greatest thing on earth because, as you know, I'm not a fan of superhero movies. That kind of wore thin on me long ago, and I kind of think it needs to be rested for another decade before they even try doing it again in a universe building kind of way.
Yeah.
But having said that, I think this for me is the best Superman since the Christopher Reeve ones. I just liked the family friendly popcorn fun of it. I think it was very colourful and fanciful and frivolous, and that spoke to my inner child. If I was 12, I would have fucking loved this movie. But I do think it was very clunky in parts with too many characters that didn't need to be there, and some throwaway stuff that was just setting up for sequels and whatnot, and that kind of shit didn't appreciate. But yeah, I liked it. What about you?
I thought it was a massive pile of stinking dog shit.
Yeah, I know you did. Crypto shit.
I did not care for, despite it. Like, I know you don't like it when they bring in other superheroes. I like all of the superheroes they brought in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but I didn't. Not that I particularly like what they did with them, but they were pretty true to the character. I think it's time that the world kind of not moves on from Nathan Fillion, but acknowledges the fact that he's now in his 50s.
I think that's half of the joke in this, and that's why James Gunn put that ridiculous haircut on him.
No, well, that's Guy Gardner's haircut. Guy Gardner is a ridiculous Green Lantern character.
I read that James Gunn chose Nathan Fillion for it because he wanted him in that haircut.
Yeah.
So
because it's a stupid haircut.
Like friendly punishment. Yeah.
Guy Gardner's always been a raging ginger.
Yeah.
But with the stupid bowl cut.
Yeah.
And he's always been the most belligerent of the Green Lantern characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't remember if he's in the Green Lantern film. Because he replaces Hal Jordan as Earth's Green Lantern, and then there's another one, John Stewart.
Yeah.
Becomes Green Lantern, and then Hal Jordan comes back, and it becomes a big complicated mess. But for a long time, Guy Gardner is and there's even a Green Lantern dog character called Gnort.
Oh, okay. Well, look, the fact that there were so many of these other characters and other things going on, I did feel at times I was watching like an extended episode of a TV show. It did feel very Smallville in parts, and that kind of threw me off a little bit. But otherwise, and I think it was really well cast. I think everyone was pretty perfectly cast, except for Nicholas Hoult, who I do love. I didn't really like his Lex Luthor.
I thought he was fine. I thought Superman was the weakest link.
No, I liked him. But maybe it's my perception too of all of the Lex Luthors that I know from film and television. I'm not big on comics. They've all been very, I guess, charismatic and suave in a way. Like they've got something about them that's comical, and this one was just a serious, maniacal kind of character.
Yeah, well, he does in the comics. He becomes president.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I'm not into the comics, so I'm just basing it off my knowledge of film and television. He's not the Lex Luthor I kind of anticipated. I like Nicholas Hoult a lot. I think he's one of the actors of his generation. But, just didn't do it for me in this. But,
Yeah, I mean, because this, and that's another thing that's weird. This is 3 years into, this movie starts 3 years into Superman's acknowledgement of as revelation of being Superman. He still has his secret identity and all that sort of stuff, but Lex Luthor has always been his kind of primary villain. So it's odd that he's seemingly taken 3 years to be revealed as a Superman villain.
Well, the thing that I did appreciate about this, and that kind of feeds into that, is the fact that it doesn't give us the origin again. So many Superman movies come along and they give us the origin. They hint at it, just for anyone that's, living under some kind of rock.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that was a thing, but I also like the fact that the world does not recognize Lex Luthor yet as a villain. He's just one of those rich billionaires.
He's just a rich guy, which is, that is the Lex Luthor character and everything. The only people who know he's a villain are the people close to him. Everyone else just sees he's a billionaire.
But the films and television prior have not really gone into it like that. They've not, I guess, presented him that way. Anyhow.
Yeah, I mean, in the Christopher Reeve ones, isn't he in prison at the start?
Oh yeah, this. Yeah, that's the wildest of them all. But anyhow, and what did you think about? What did you think about the Kents?
Yeah, fucking ridiculous.
Notice they didn't call them Martha and Jonathan; they were Ma and Pa.
Yeah, yeah, and they're really James Gunn has said that there is a political message behind this film, and he does kind of beat you over the head with it. But I will say this movie is awash with celebrity cameos. So who we've got? Pruitt Taylor Vince pops up, Nathan Fillion, as we mentioned, Isabella Merced, Bradley Cooper, Michael Rooker, Pom Klentoff, Michael Ian Black, Wendell Pierce, as Perry White, I fucking hate, Beck Bennett, Skylar Gisondo. He is the weirdest. His career is so weird because he can either be the biggest dork in the movie, and acknowledged by every other character in the film that he's a dork, or he's like a stud.
Yeah.
And he does absolutely nothing different in terms of
No,
his.
it's just how they've like described him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was quite good in this. I do like him.
He's
I
great.
did read, this was funny, I read that he thought he was auditioning for Superman. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, that would have been a very interesting choice. And I do like that this movie, that the first time ever Superman has to deal with social media.
Yeah.
Which is I don't think he's ever had to do before. Michael Rosenbaum, Lex Luthor in the Smallville TV series. Sean Gunn, of course, he turns up. He plays Maxwell Lord, which is a very interesting introduction.
They're setting him up for the rest of
it, yeah. Louisa Krause from The Girlfriend Experience. Millie Alcock turns up. John Cena. Eli Gathegi, I should say, who plays Mr. Terrific, who I spent the entire movie going, where do I know this guy from?
Yeah.
I couldn't pick it because he's wearing quite a bit of makeup.
Wasn't he in House?
He's in Justified.
Ah,
he's Jean Baptiste, or maybe he is. He's done a lot of TV.
Yeah, I think he was
but
a
he's
doctor.
Jean Baptiste, like this crocodile hunter in Justified.
Yeah. Well, there we go. The only other thing I've got to add to this is I was a bit, I won't say confused because I wasn't really confused, but does this occupy the same universe as Christopher Reeve? Because they've got the John Williams score, they've gone with the title treatment similar to those films, or is that just a homage? Like, I don't know if this is supposed to be that same world. You know how Superman Returns was?
Yeah.
Yeah, which that's actually my favourite of the Superman movies.
Jesus.
Which they did. I saw they did all the Rotten Tomato comparison scores, and Superman Returns is really high up there.
Yeah. No accounting for taste, really.
I love that movie.
I think it's weird if it is. I mean, look.
It is weird.
Because once you know that if anything goes wrong, you can just run really fast around the Earth and turn back time.
Well, it took him like 30 seconds to get back to the Fortress of Solitude, and I'm thinking he's been around the world in like 5 times in 30 seconds.
Yeah, it actually never made any kind of sense in any Superman universe when he flies with people and they're not completely frozen to death.
Not only frozen to death, like why their entrails aren't back there.
Yeah, like there's no inertial dampeners. There's no heating. So they,
maybe it's that that what's you call it that wind shield that comes up when you go against I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
we've spent too much time on Superman.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
So this week we are going to do a little bit of unboxing of Umbrella's new Michael Haneke box set. Now, before we do this, I do want to hear your take on Michael Haneke's Superman. What do you think that would entail?
Well, it's actually Michael Haneke. Thank you very much.
Is it?
Yeah, but
for
years I've said Haneke, but it is Haneke. Yeah. I want to say I'm a big fan of Michael Haneke, although I haven't seen all of his films, right? But he was very informative to my upbringing as a teenager. I was big, obviously, into Benny's Video. I love The Piano Teacher and Funny Games and all that kind of stuff. So I love his work, but there's stuff in this box I haven't seen. The television films I'm really, really curious about. It's a really gorgeous and chock-a-full box set.
Yeah. Was it 17?
Yeah, it's
films?
I think it is. Yeah, it's just massive.
Cool.
So let me run through what the films are and what you get. So I think this is in chronological order. You got 3 Paths to the Lake from 76, Lemmings Part 1 and 2 from 79.
Which is a TV movie.
Yep, The Seventh Continent, 89, Benny's Video, 92, The Rebellion, 93, 71 Fragments of a Chronology of Chance, tongue-tied that one, 94, The Castle, not The Castle, you tell him he's dreaming, from 97.
You know where Benny's Video's going? Straight to the pool room.
Benny with jousting sticks, that'd be interesting. Funny Games 97, Code Unknown 2000, The Piano Teacher 2001, Time of the Wolf from 2003. That's an interesting one. I think I've seen it, but I don't quite recall. So I want to revisit. The Hidden from 2005, The White Ribbon, have seen that one, 2009. Amor, I love that one, from 2012, and then Happy End from 2017.
Hidden.
Yeah.
What year is that from?
2005.
That's interesting because they've got it as cachet on the back here.
Yeah, this is the thing with these films. Quite often, there's a few of them that have got different titles.
Different names, yeah, right.
Yes.
Isn't that interesting? There's a fish on the back.
Now, this is absolutely loaded with bonus content. A lot of like commentaries and essays from people in the Melbourne scene.
Oh, yeah, because there were so many. I remember when Umbrella was working on this and they asked if I wanted to do some of the films, and I said, look, I haven't seen a single one.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to go there. And they just, because there were so many and the deadline was pretty tight, they just, pretty much anyone and everyone who they could get, they had to.
Yeah.
This is what I've been most curious about. So this is...
It's a canvas.
A canvas print of a ocean...
Scene?
Beach scene.
I can't remember what film it's from, though.
So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, when you revisit them,
Yep.
you'll have to tell us.
So I'm just looking. Does it say what it is from here? But no, it just says it's a 16-inch by 20-inch canvas poster. There will be people watching this, possibly who are involved with the box set, that are going to be screaming into the screen saying, "It's from this movie."
Don't you know? That's from Funny Games. I'm assuming that it's from Funny Games only because that's the most well known. Although I guess maybe The Piano Teacher, but Funny Games I think is most well known as his.
Yeah, and more.
Film.
That was like the Oscar one, which is just a gorgeous, gorgeous movie. I love the way he tells stories, and I love the uncompromising vision that he has, and doesn't stray from difficult subject matters.
So there's a lovely little book. What's this one? This would be 18, 20 page. Little 20 page, The Films of Michael Haneke.
Yep.
Booklet. Then an exploration of the films of Michael Haneke in a hardbound.
That's a chunky book.
Book. I don't think the hardbound helps them any more than the perfect bound in terms of opening the pages up a bit too much. It doesn't really, it doesn't do it. Okay, and this is the disc.
This is the juicy bit.
And this is exactly like the Clint Eastwood box set that I've got, which I tell you what, you don't want to have started early on the popcorn when you try and get one of these suckers out of the slip. So that's what it looks like. And when you open it up, so that's each film has a page, which, I mean, it makes sense to have done it like this because imagine the size. Like, unless you're going to do 17 discs, even that, it end up looking like an anime box set where you have to...
or like that Kurosawa one I've got where, like, where they actually have them just in little, like, fabric sleeves and they just pile them on top of each other.
Yeah, put it on a spool.
Yeah. But this has, it has audio commentaries from people that some of you may know. Emma Westwood, Stephen A. Russell, we've got Thomas Caldwell in there several times over. Who else have we got in there? There's a whole bunch of people. I won't go through them all, but James Mottram, Sean Hagen. We've got essays by Nadine Whitney.
Of course, Alexander Helen Nicholas is involved.
Yeah, it's a lot of people over this. There is no shortage. If you go to the Umbrella website, you can check out all of those features. But it is a fully loaded one, and it's one. I'm probably more excited about this box than I have been a lot of others recently.
So they've put the little hidey hole in there, and I'm wondering if I put the book in.
Will that work as well?
Yeah.
I guess so. Just
kind of does.
Depends on your preference, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can have
and that.
And that as well. I mean, you could do either.
Choose your own cover.
Or.
Choose your own cover.
It's a tricky one.
Wonder if that's intentional.
I would think it would have to be, surely.
There we go.
Let's see.
Sweet.
It's a bit difficult to get it back in
that way.
That way.
That one would have to go in first, and then put the DVDs in last.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we won't wreck it.
Yeah. There we go. There's the middle of a cross. There we go.
Ta-da!
Yeah. So what a cracker of a release. All right. We'll be right back. I like to do it.
It's Terrific TV Tuesday, the only Tuesday TV segment that drops on a Monday.
I finally succumbed, Glenn.
Oh, yuck.
To the advertising
on
Amazon Prime.
Oh, hook, line, sinker.
I watched Ballard.
Okay.
Which they've been promoting pretty heavily this last week.
Yep.
Maggie Q, Police Detective Show.
Yeah, sure.
Which I've got a lot of time for Maggie Q. She's our age, which I didn't realise.
That's scary. I thought she was like... hang on. I thought she was like 50, and it's like, hang on, we are nearly 50.
Yeah. She's like 40, 46 or something, I think.
When you got a mind of a 12-year-old, you forget how old you are.
Yeah, that's right. In my head, she's a fully grown assassin in Die Hard 4.0.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was 12 when that came out. But just in emotional maturity, as it turns out. The funny thing is, in this show, Amy... what's her name? Amy Hill, who is on... You'd recognize her. She plays a lot of kind of grandmother characters.
Okay.
But she plays, once again, Maggie Q's grandmother in this show.
Okay.
She's like 20 years older than Maggie Q.
She usually plays a Mexican or,
or a generic Asian.
There she is. Yes, that's right.
You could be any of them.
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian. It doesn't matter what it is. She was Margaret Cho's mother in the Margaret Cho show.
She should be Lou Diamond Phillips' mother.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. He just formed this family of...
Or Jason Scott Lee.
You could just play anything.
That'd be
Woody
brothers.
Strode. She's Woody Strode's younger sister. But this, I didn't realize that this show is it's another cold case detective show.
I love them.
It's a crime of the week. No, it's actually not crime of the week. It's
a crime of the season.
It's weird because it is. Yeah, it does have. When it's a crime of the week show, usually unless it's SVU, which is so crime of the week that and CSI, any of those Dick Wolf shows, there is very little in the way of story. But usually in these things, there's a crime of the week while they're investigating a larger thing that will take them through 1 to 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. This show, all the crimes are. There's the overarching one, which is the one that this cold case squad has been formed, and Maggie Q is the only cop on the team. The rest are like reservists, LAPD reservists, or volunteers, which I didn't even know was yes, let's open up all of these crime scenes to...
Well, I mean, we have seen Citizens on Patrol.
Yeah, that's right. It's a little bit of that. But what I didn't realize is that this is a spin-off of Bosch, which I have not seen.
I know
Or I've seen one
exactly the
episode.
one you're talking about now. I was trying to put it in my head, have I seen the thumbnail? But I did read up on this one ages ago, before it even got made, I think. It was a coming soon thing.
Because Maggie Q does appear in Bosch, apparently.
Yeah, that was
and
a pretty good show.
because the opening of the second, there's no link to it in the first episode. They don't mention it at all until right at the end, where they do open like a new case file that's linked to what they're investigating, and they're like, "This is the cleanest crime book we've ever seen." Who's the investigating officer? Oh my God, it's Bosch. And then that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And the next episode, rather than do what happened last week, it's the flashback to the Bosch stuff with Maggie Q in it.
If there wasn't so much Bosch, I'd go back and watch it from scratch.
Yeah, but there's Bosch and Bosch Legacy, and there's a Bosch universe now.
Written by the Swedish chef, I believe.
Early birdie, Bosch blunderbuss.
Bosch, 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 Bosch.
But yeah, so I mean,
Stupid joke.
pretty good show. Definitely
Excellent.
worth checking out if you like. I mean, usually I kind of err on the side of British
Yeah.
crime dramas, and it's very. And when I saw that it was a cold case thing, I was like, is this going to be as good as was it Department Q?
Yeah.
It is such a different beast.
So from Newfoundland last week to this.
Yeah, it's nothing but crime.
Yeah, and I was all about crime last week as well.
The reason it's taking me so long is because I refuse to watch Castle Rock until I've seen all of the Stephen King movies and TV shows, so then I get the references.
I enjoyed what I saw of Castle Rock, and I've been trying to go back to it, but it's not on any platform at the moment. I don't have the DVDs, so it's frustrating the shit out of me. Because anyway, moving on. So I've got something a bit different. I don't really have a recommendation here, although I kind of recommend it. It is something I found so amusing. I've been down a rabbit hole this week. There is a series of movies, a whole franchise I didn't know existed, with Eric Roberts in the lead, right? And it is a made-for-television series of movies. So they are movies, but they're made for TV. And the first one is called Stalked by My Doctor, right? And he plays this... his character is very close to somebody that we know that we're not going to reveal the name of, but he's a bit of a psychopath that gets obsessed with a person, latches onto them, and this character goes much further. He's a heart surgeon who becomes obsessed with young women in his hospital,
Right.
and then
Someone we know in real life?
kinda like
Okay.
it's not like salacious or anything like that, but
But we don't want to get sued.
no, we don't get it. But I just love the fact there'll be some people listening going, Yep.
Yep.
Anyway, so Eric Roberts plays this doctor that just becomes obsessive. It's a bit of a Fatal Attraction kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's a bit hokey, very hallmarky, I guess you would call it. But there were so many of these movies, and I just want to go through these just briefly.
Is this like Jesse Stone and...
Kinda. So the
they're all
first one,
Hallmark.
2015, Stalked by My Doctor. Released the same year as Human Centipede 2, by the way, which Eric Roberts was in. So that's an interesting... he's done 700 movies, so he's bound to have like 10 going at any given time.
Yeah.
But then there was Stalked by My Doctor, The Return, which I also watched. And
I was hoping that every week is a different Stalked by, and he like has to change jobs.
No. Well,
Stalked by My Gardener.
He changes identity each
Stalked
time.
by My Prison.
Well, keep listening. Keep
yeah.
listening, my friend, because we have Stalked by My Doctor, Patient's Revenge, where the first victim comes back. And that one, they decide, well, we've kind of milked this franchise already, so let's make it a musical. And suddenly, there's a La La Land sequence and they introduce his alter ego in a Hawaiian shirt with a martini or a cocktail, who's, you shouldn't be doing this. And why not? You shouldn't be doing this. And then it breaks into song and dance for no reason whatsoever. And I thought, this is glorious.
This sounds like the best thing ever.
Then we had Stalked by My Doctor, Sleepwalker's Nightmare. I haven't watched this one yet. That's as far as I've gotten. But after that, then we've got Just What the Doctor Ordered, which is the final one in the series. But what I found fascinating, the director. What else has he done? Oh, he's done Stalked by My Neighbor. He's done Stalked by My Mother. He's done Haunted by My Stalker.
I hope Eric Roberts is in all of these.
He's done The Stalker Club. He's done Swimming Instructor Nightmare. And then the producer... Oh, he also directed Zapped Again.
Where they turned Zapped into a kid's thing with Zendaya?
No. This is the Zapped Again, which is
the actual sequel.
The actual sequel back
not
in
the
back in the early 90s or 80s, whenever it was. But then the producer of Stalked by My Doctor has made Stalked by My Amish Boyfriend. The paramedic who stalked me. Who's stalking my family? Don't let him find you. Young, stalked and pregnant. Then he did Escaped My Stalker, Stalked by a Reality Star.
It's when you say them all out loud like this that you kind of think, maybe this guy has a problem.
And then Stalked at 17. And I'm sure there's a lot more.
Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe this is his way of exercising this his issues.
Yeah, well, that's what they said. There's a Stephen King that says, maniac. We're all maniacs. It says some of us write to get it out, others kill. That kind of thing. The difference between a writer and a killer is, just the pen. There you go. So I just wanted to touch on that. Eric Roberts is fantastic. He hams it up completely. I'm still convinced, as much as the dreck and the shit that Eric Roberts puts out there, he is a good actor. He has done some fantastic stuff.
He's just got tax problems.
Yeah, he's got mental problems too. I've seen him on a few podcasts, and even in this, right? So part 1 and 2, you're like, okay, he's fairly robust. And by the third one, he's like this the whole time. Man, you've got some real. It's obviously the DTs or something like that, because it's.
I don't
shocking.
know because I don't know if Julia Roberts. There was a time where Julia Roberts and his daughter
Emma Roberts
weren't.
No, they
cut him off.
They did cut him off, but then
I think
they're back in
had
favour.
yeah.
And then he went on Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil tried to drag them back into the rift, and that was really embarrassing for him.
For Dr. Phil?
No, for Eric Roberts. So Eric Roberts and his wife went on Dr. Phil. Don't know why. It must have just been needed some cash.
Yeah.
But then Dr. Phil actually started digging deep and bringing those women into it, Emma and Julia. And Eric Roberts is like, well, we discussed that was not going to be a thing. I didn't come here to discuss them. I've just made good with them. I don't need them on Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil's really driving that home.
Of course, that fucking guy's a sleaze.
And it just wasn't a good look for him. But I did watch Eric Roberts on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast recently.
Oh, yeah.
He recorded it maybe last year. And that's a pretty good chat. But, of course, Rosenbaum goes straight into the Julia Roberts talk, doesn't he? That's the last thing I would do if he was on the show.
I mean, it's an interesting thing because, why would you?
Yeah.
But, look, on a show like Rosenbaum's show, which would be similar to Mark Maron's thing, where they do like to go back.
Deep dive, yeah.
Because Eric Roberts was huge before, and she was just Eric Roberts' sister.
Yeah.
And then, after I guess Pretty Woman happens, and then it's who the fuck is Eric Roberts?
Yeah, that's right. Well, they have a sister as well who's in nearly every Julia Roberts movie there is, and she's in some other films of her own accord as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, anyhow. And he talks about how...
You know what she needs? She needs someone else in the movie to go, geez, that Julia Roberts' sister is super attractive. Just randomly out of nowhere.
So there we go. We've given it the time of day. Stalked by My Doctor. God, it was so much fun.
Are these on like Tubi or something?
They are on Tubi.
course
They're
they
also all on YouTube. That's where I watch them. Fantastic. Like Danny are still fantastic. That's the caliber we're talking here.
All right, Glenn. We're going to throw to the interview with Steve Kostanski now, so you can snort that line that's been bothering you the whole show. You're like what's his name in Die Hard? The guy that wants her office or whatever it is. Hart Bochner. It's hey, you forgot a little.
I'm more like the guy from Crocodile Dundee. Get into that. Get that into you.
So we did, we sat down with Canadian Steven Kostanski, former member of Astron 6, or still current member, even though Astron 6 is kind of on a hiatus, but they're still, they're all in the movie.
I still consider them a thing.
I think, yeah. It was because Frankie Freako, of course, the movie that played at Monster Fest last year, which is Steve's Little Monsters movie. Hits VOD.
Super, super fun movie. If you love those 80s movies, like, I guess, Munchies, Gremlins, like just any
Critters, Ghoulies, the
all
whole
of those.
lot.
It's very much one of those.
And we do talk about those, which is great.
We talk about things I didn't think we'd talk about. You're going to love it.
We had a great, great chat with Steve, so check it out.
Well, hey, Stephen, thank you for joining us and making time. Really appreciate it. It's great to be chatting with you.
Thanks so much for having me.
I'm going to come straight out of the gates with the age-old question here and just ask you, do you have like an all-time favorite movie?
All-time favorite movie? I mean, I have a lot of favorite movies. Let's put it that way. But the one I always go to is Dark City. I love the world building in that movie. I just love the score, the tone, the visuals. It's a perfect Steve movie in every way. So it ends with a huge set piece, like starts kind of in one place and ends in a completely different place, which is something I try to do with all my movies. So yeah, I would put Dark City there, but we'll see what my mood is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Versus tomorrow.
I always think that when you ask that question, if someone can answer it too quickly, I'm like, that means you haven't seen enough movies. Because it's just impossible. It's impossible to answer.
Or instantly regret what they just said.
Yeah, I mean, last Wednesday, I think Snake Eater 3, His Law was my favorite movie. So, it changes on a pretty regular basis.
Man, I love that series.
Oh, actually, and like after that, so Snake Eater 3 was my favorite, and then a few days later, I watched that Gary Busey movie, Hider in the House. You know this movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with Mimi Rogers. Yeah.
Yeah. So then that was my favorite movie because that movie is great. I'd never seen it. I just love movies, guys.
Yes.
I love all the movies. I love every movie I watch.
I usually like to warm people up, and that's the last question I ask, but I thought I'd reverse it this time just because I feel like your films are so nostalgic. I just wanted to tap into your psyche with that. How about, is there a particular movie from your childhood that you feel clenched the deal for you and made you want to pursue filmmaking?
Well, I mean, the original Star Wars trilogy was a big deal for me as a kid. That was really everything on display that I like, all the kinds of spectacle and visual world building that I like. But again, there's just so many movies that influenced me. Terminator 2 was a big one. I've referenced this a few times in the past in interviews, but when I went and saw the Mortal Kombat movie in 1995 in the theater, that really blew my 10-year-old brain. And that, I think that was part of what got the gears turning of I want to make this, because it was just such a thrill. It was just such a felt like I was at a concert, because it's such a soundtrack centric movie too. Yeah. It's just guys in cool costumes fighting with music blaring. I was like, yeah, this is cinema right now. I love this. So really connected.
But then the introduction of the Goro character, which is like you're like surely they're not going to like even if you're a fan of the game, you're like they're not going to do any of that. That's not going to happen. And then it happens in the movie, and you're like, holy shit, this is fucking
Yeah.
great.
Yes. Well, that movie, like people rip on it for being like, oh, there's no fatalities, but I'm like, I think it captures the spirit of those games. At least 10-year-old Steve playing Mortal Kombat like pretty accurately and building, yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, building up Goro in such a way was just really effective. I don't know, I just think it's really good filmmaking. I have a real soft spot for Paul W.S. Anderson. I think that guy
100%.
he made a few bangers in his career.
It certainly has. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and for me, that Mortal Kombat is a total reflection of my experience playing the game because I was never had a memory or skill to actually do a fatality. Could never do it. My
Exactly.
entire life, I've never been able to do a fatality.
I was that guy who would like try to punch it in, and I would just like do a low punch and knock the guy over, and it would like cancel out the fatality. And I'd be like, oh, well, that was an underwhelming end to that fight.
Now I have to beat somebody twice again before I get the chance to do this again.
Yeah, exactly. And by then I'm like, I give up. I'm not even trying. I'm
Yeah.
not going to humiliate myself again.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of 10-year-old Stephen, 10-year-old me, I think you spoke to the 10-year-old me with Frankie Freako. This movie really took me back, and I absolutely love the film. So firstly, congratulations on the film. But can you speak to
Thanks.
some of the influences? I think Ben and I and many people would recognize some, but can you talk us through some of what influenced you?
Well, it was myself and my director of photography on the film, Pierce Dirks. We were streaming little monster movies and getting really just fixated on the concept of making a little monster movie like a few years back. And so, yeah, we just fell down this rabbit hole of watching like every shitty little monster movie there is, like the good ones. And then we got real deep and found some real stinkers. And we're still
He's talking about
charmed by
Wynorski, mate. He's talking about Wynorski.
Not no.
Well, I mean, yeah, like
Munchies? No way.
oh, oh yeah, not even Munchies. Where it's at, Munchie, the sequel.
Yeah.
Munchie.
That
Yeah.
is primo movie.
Yeah.
Love that movie. Would happily remake that movie. It is so fun. But I feel like a big one was Ghoulies Go to College, Ghoulies 3, because it's so stupid.
Mhm.
Like it is such a masterfully dumb movie that we're watching it and we're being like, there's like an art to being this dumb. This is not like people. I think like a casual moviegoer would watch it and get like angry probably and be like, why is this so stupid? This is an insult to the audience. It's like I think the opposite. I think like a lot of thought goes into making something that's just such a like affront to reality and to any kind of like basic human sensibilities. Uh, and so yeah, we just got really fixated on that movie, and that's really what got the ball rolling. Is I was like, I would love to make something this dumb. It also it was like a bunch of factors lined up. Like I was starting to get the ball rolling on making Death Stalker, but then financing got delayed and it pushed for a year. So I had like a year of time where I was like, nothing's happening. Why don't I make a little movie in between? Literally a little movie, thinking it would be simple making a puppet movie.
Mhm.
So it was that. I also was really fixated on the idea of making a movie that was like a sort of one location thing. I'm incapable of making a one location movie apparently because we break out of it multiple times and go to other dimensions. So, I failed in that front. But in my head, I was like, I want to make like kind of like an Evil Dead 2 style situation where it's just like one guy getting wrecked for 84 minutes. So then that lined up with watching these little monster movies, and then yeah, Frankie Freako was just born out of that. This idea of like, what if Connor Sweeney was in a house and just getting the shit kicked out of him by a little.
I was going to say,
dude.
and who better to wreck than a nerdy Connor Sweeney?
Well, and that part of that inspiration was, I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Enemy Territory.
Yes, which
It's
is, I was going to say that Ghoulies 3 is finally getting a Blu-ray release, I'm sure in no small part to Frankie Freako. But Enemy Territory is finally getting a Blu-ray release as well.
Yeah, finally, and that's one of those like buried movies I would recommend to people and be like, it's the whole thing's on YouTube. You got to watch it. It's amazing. But the main character in that was a bit of an inspiration for Connor because he's that like insurance guy, and he's like not the greatest guy. So you enjoy watching him get beat up, but at the same time, you want him to make it out alive. You can't help but sympathize with him a little bit and just like want him to get punished and learn his lesson, but also make it through. And so as a like watching that movie, I was like, I could see Connor being this kind of guy. And so he was a natural fit for the main character. And it's also like I've never had Connor star in one of my movies before, so it was really just an excuse for me and Connor to hang out on set and goof around. And yeah, he's like one of the funniest people I know. And the reason that movie is as funny as it is, I think, is because Connor is just kind of doing his thing. It was fun to just let him go to town and riff and yeah, just do his thing and roll the cameras on him. He was awesome.
As a collective with Astron 6, do you guys like have a cache or a bank of ideas that you've got floating that you'd love to make one day? Or is it more of a in the moment, I've got an idea, let's do this?
This one felt like a bit of an in the moment thing. I mean, I've always wanted to make a little monster movie, like deep in the back of my brain. It was something I wanted to do, and I had pitched it in our Astron 6 group chat, messenger chat in the past, where I was like, they would be floating ideas around, and I'd be like, what if the villain was little monsters? And I distinctly remember Matt Kennedy saying that, that wasn't like a viable villain in terms of like what people want to see in a movie. And so part of this was just me wanting to prove him wrong and then making him voice Rico as well. But yeah, as far as like a cache of ideas, I guess in the way that any creative has a bunch of ideas, like we're always throwing around stupid ideas, and stuff will go away, stuff will come back. You don't really know what'll stick. But anytime we hang out, we're just riffing and coming up with them. So yeah, it's like a constant flowing river of stupidity. We'll pluck stuff out.
What determines who takes the lead on a project? Like, how do you decide who directs?
Well, I mean, I've kind of just been taking the lead on my own stuff for the past few years. Part of that's just motivated by like my career choice in effects. Like working in effects is motivating me doing effects-centric movies because then I can work in effects on my own movies, which was the case for Psycho Goreman, Frankie Freako, and Deathstalker as well. Like I'm able to coordinate all these things and supervise and design the effects. So yeah, I mean, it's like everybody kind of just is doing their own thing. And when something takes off, you try to pull as many people into it as possible. So yeah,
cool. And as like, and I don't want to focus too much on just Astron 6 as a collective, but like I am fascinated by the whole dynamic of it. And you're mostly behind the camera. Has there ever been a point where you thought, I want to be in front of the camera with these guys?
Yeah, I think you and Jeremy are the only two who I haven't seen on screen. Has Jeremy been on screen?
Technically, if you watch Chow Boys, like, which I mean, you're referring to Astron 6 in the present tense as though it's still a thing. We're technically like sort of disbanded, but not really. It's more just like we haven't had the opportunity to make things, all five of us together.
Yeah.
But the last official Astron 6 thing was Chow Boys. And in that, all five of us are in it. And I played like Evil Santa at the end. So I will happily wear prosthetics and be in a creature suit because that's my jam. That's what I like doing. I can't keep up with those guys with the riffs. Like I just start laughing. Even when I'm behind the camera, I'm just sitting there laughing. Like half the fun of this to me is just putting my friends in front of the lens and letting them joke around and just enjoying that dynamic, like putting them in stupid outfits. Frankie Freako being the perfect example, like with Adam being like, what's the stupidest sweater I can put him in? Let's give him a bunch of rings for some reason and a dumb ponytail and like
the best
goatee.
The best ponytail in film history. That
a ponytail that I made myself the night before shooting. I just like cut a weft of hair off of a wig and then like hot glued the end and put some clips on it and was like, here's your ponytail. So yeah, it's a real last minute that I'm glad I did.
I love that you're a special effects guy too. Like I was really stoked to see your name pop up in a Violent Nature. Like the work on that was incredible. That's phenomenal. That was a great movie.
Thanks. I mean, it was a huge team effort. Like Chris Nash was in there a ton building a lot of the stuff. Like he is responsible for a good chunk of it. But yeah, there was like a whole team of people behind it. But yeah, the stuff that I was able to get my hands dirty on, like I built a lot of that yoga death, the like pretzel body,
Yeah.
which was actually three separate bodies. So it was quite a complicated thing. But yeah, I mean, kind of maybe starting to ramp up on the next one right now.
Amazing. And I love it
Yeah,
when
right.
films like that like just get shared from person to person just because of the deaths. It's like, check this shit out. And that movie definitely
Yeah.
floated around my aura like, fucking have
But
a
I
look
love
at
that
this.
that yoga scene. I love that yoga scene, like the human body, even in prosthetic form, the human body can't get into can't get into those
Yes.
positions.
Well, yeah, it's like a completely implausible thing that took three different stages of the body to get it to work because you couldn't, there's no way one body could bend and do that. It was pretty insane. But like props to Chris for hard committing to it and not budging and being like, no, this is what it has to do.
Yep.
Because it paid off. It certainly is like
Yeah.
a showstopper set
Fucking
piece.
gnarly as shit. So in terms of design, can you talk about Frankie himself? What a great little character. Like, how many iterations of this little munchkin did you have to go through before you settled on the look?
I think I actually sculpted pretty much to completion three different versions of him. I made like an early proto Frankie, like before we even had the green light on the movie. I had built a version because an issue I have when I'm in the writing stage of movies is that I get bored of writing, so I just start making my monsters as a way of procrastinating. So I actually built a Frankie while I was writing the treatment for it. And then from that, I made a second version that I wasn't quite happy with. So then again, made another version, a third final version, because I wanted to integrate some elements that teased his demon version that shows up in the movie. So I gave him like kind of little horns and stuff. As far as his overall look, one of the inspirations was Andrew Dice Clay a little bit, like visual. And then so it was like a bit of Andrew Dice Clay mixed with
Oh,
yeah, like there's John Travolta in the movie Swordfish. I don't know if you remember how he looks in that movie, but he has that like little that little soul patch thing. Yeah, those are two big inspirations. And then just like a bit of like kind of glam rock makeup with the blue lips and stuff, just to spice them up a bit. It really was just a mishmash of all sorts of nonsense. He has gold eyes. I want him to have gold eyes because it's like a hang up that I have about the Leprechaun movie is that I wanted the Leprechaun to have gold eyes and we just couldn't get contacts that looked that way. So they're yellow. I'm happy with the look, but I wanted them to be gold. So this was my way of kind of like righting that wrong, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then also like his design also informed Boink and Dottie, his little buddies. I wanted it to be very specifically RGB, like red, green, and blue. And so, like, starting with a bold color made it easy to kind of work off of and be like, okay, well, what's their, like, here's their color, what's their shtick? And then, yeah, everything, their wardrobe came from that. So,
I feel like they deserve their own little garbage pail kid cards.
yeah. Well, I mean, I would love to get toys or something going for them at some point.
Oh, mate, so fucking good. Working with puppets, is it easy or difficult?
No, it's not easy. It's really hard. Really hard and tiring. And the puppeteers, including myself, can confirm that. I just built the puppets wrong. Like they're like if I do this again, if I do another Frankie or another puppet movie, Definitely going to do them in foam latex because I made them in silicone for this. Partially because silicone is just quicker to cast up. Foam latex, you have to bake it. It takes hours and hours. Silicone, in like an hour and a half, you can have a skin cast up and ready to go. So for speed, we did silicone, but it's heavy. There's a lot of weight to it, and you forget that like you have to like hold your hand up this whole time, like the whole time you're shooting, and so you're also supporting the weight of a puppet head. Like I had never really tried to make a puppet thing before, so I just dived in head first and made all the mistakes on this one. So the hope is the next one I learn from those mistakes. Because yeah, it was very difficult, way more work than I was expecting it to be. Ultimately, I'm happy with where everything ended up, but there was a lot of R&D and a lot of stuff going wrong on set and things going slow and realizing
So
also. Sorry, go ahead.
so well, you've got Matthew, both Matthew, Adam, I think Connor now. They all have kids now. Do you get to the point where you're halfway through and you're like, let's just Ewok this. Let's just bring the kids
I
in,
mean,
put them in a costume, and save ourselves 3 weeks.
unfortunately, Connor's kid was a little too big at the time to be a freak. My hope is that I can time out a sequel with my son Leon reaching appropriate size. Like I don't know if it's like 2 or 3, but I'm definitely gonna dress him like Frankie at some point, even just for fun.
Halloween.
Yeah, probably
That'd
just
be
for
amazing.
Halloween. But
Yeah.
yeah, I have considered that too. The just doing like those shots of Chucky where it's clearly just like a kid running around like that.
Yeah.
That probably would have been a lot easier than me trying to puppeteer Boink's legs as he's running around the basement.
I have
So,
been watching a lot of Alf lately, and I tell you what, those moments where you see his whole body and it's clearly moved from being a regular puppet to like a costume, they're my favorite parts. I love that.
I mean, I do love how janky and weird it is. That's like the whole appeal of this type of movie to me is every shot is an effect. Every shot is like a camera trick. So
Yeah.
you're looking at it and you're not just like watching the movie, you're also watching and being like, well, where's the puppeteer hiding?
Yeah.
Like what action is he doing? Is this a puppet specific for that action? Um, so that's stuff I really enjoy about this type of movie, and like especially when it doesn't quite work the way it's supposed to,
Yeah.
and there's like a bit of jank to it. So that part is always appealing to me. Is that it's trying to decipher like what's the effect and how is it actually working or is it not?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it
I
certainly.
guess, and there's also
Go-
I was
go
gonna say,
on,
there's
man.
also the doll man trick where you just put a regular person, but
Force
you make the
perspective.
sets much bigger. Yeah.
Yes. Well, in like, didn't they do that in the later Puppet Master movies? Like they made that Blade spinoff, and I think for that one they just made like a full size costume for a
Yeah.
guy and just shot him on miniature sets instead of having a puppet. And I mean, I guess you could go that route, but I don't know. I like
It never looks. I mean, it never looks right. It never
doesn't
really.
look right.
In a way,
And I don't know. I kind of love in Puppet Master where they'll have cutaways to the puppets just sitting there and they'll like just kind of move slightly,
Yes.
like just a little bit. I don't know. Something about that is like, that just warms my heart.
Yeah.
I just like it.
That demonic toy sequel's a bit that way. Hilarious. Love it.
Yeah. Where it's like the bare minimum of movement.
Yes.
yeah.
Now, look, before we wrap this chat up, I just want to ask you a question related to this specific episode that we're recording. Every week we do a movie battle, and on this week's battle we're doing Innerspace versus Dreamscape, two Dennis Quaid movies from the 80s. Without the benefit of any kind of time to consider those two movies, which one would you lean towards?
Innerspace.
Excellent. I'm not going to reveal my answer because we're going to battle that out later on the show, Ben.
Okay,
I reckon,
sweet.
That's a great.
I reckon it's
great
like
choice.
90% assured which way it's going to go. But
Yeah, I reckon.
you have surprised me before. So,
I'm actually curious which one you guys prefer.
No, fuck
I
it.
hate, like,
Fuck
not
it.
to rip on,
It's going to be in a space, 100%.
yeah, and not to rip on Dreamscape, but like every time I watch that movie, I'm like, this is going to be the time I like it, and then I don't. So.
Yep. The conversation's already been had now, Ben.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
I gave you the answer. Battle over.
I led you into that conversation. Hey, thanks so much for having a chat about Frankie Freako. Absolutely love this movie, and I'm glad so many people are now going to have a chance to see it for themselves outside of the festival circuits and whatnot. So, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
2001, Stanley Kubrick proven to be full of shit.
All right, Glenn. It's 2001.
Yes.
Ben has just dropped out of university for the first time. This would be a continuing theme in my life. He started. I don't know if he's already been working at the video store. He may have started working at Borders at this point.
Did you rage quit?
Borders? No, I've only rage quit one job, and that was with Umbrella. I'm always very careful not to burn bridges, because you never know when you're going to want to work with them again.
And next week's unboxing from Umbrella Entertainment.
All of a sudden, all my Umbrella product has stopped. The tap has been turned off.
All right, let's go through some. Do you got top 10 there?
I do have a top 10. Now, what a fucking year. Although, I think this is the first time where I don't think I really rated any of the top 10 films.
Okay.
Like, not that I didn't. Like, there's a couple there that I watched and went, yeah, it's all right.
Well, I don't have that list in front of me, so
so you don't know.
Lay them on
Okay.
me. Lay them on me.
So, number 10, Hannibal.
Oh, I love Hannibal.
I mean, it does have a great brain-eating scene.
I just love it. Yeah. It's so outrageous.
It is the first Silence of the Lambs film without Jodie Foster.
And I just love how...
or the first Clarice movie.
I just love how they just took like what was essentially a thriller movie with horror elements and just turned it into a gothic horror. Like it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nasty.
Are you upset that they didn't continue the franchise with Julianne Moore?
I think you couldn't have put Jodie Foster in Hannibal. I think you needed to recast because it's a different kind of Clarice, and I don't think it would have had the... I don't know what the word is. It wouldn't have the gusto. That Julianne Moore is a tougher character. Yeah. And I think she was great in it.
So at number 9, Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yuck. The Tim Burton one.
With,
Yeah, no, I don't like that one.
With Tim Roth and Mark Wahlberg.
Never made sense to me, that one.
Although it kind of does tie into the new ones. I think it's part of that universe.
No, the new ones are tied to the Charlton Heston ones. So in the first one with James Franco.
Yep.
In the background in the kitchen, you see the rocket ship with Charlton Heston going up into space.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas this one had they did a different twist ending to the original. Yeah. And it kind of didn't make sense to me. Like. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I wish one of our phones would stop going off. Let's just say that. No, but everyone can hear it.
Yeah. We're just popular. We can't help it.
True.
So this is such an odd one. Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised it's in a top 10.
I am.
Are you?
I'm because I thought this was because this is the last one. They stopped it for a while, and I thought the only reason to stop a trilogy is because it stops making money.
Well, it's the first.
But it didn't.
It's the first one that Spielberg jumped off. He was a producer but not director. Joe Johnston directed this one.
Yeah.
And it's a different movie to the first two. But
totally. And
I think people were like, they wanted to see if the series could come back from part 2.
Because this is them going back into the park.
Yeah, Sam Neill returned.
The second one, it's in New York or whatever it is.
No, they're all three are on the islands, but number 2 ends in the city.
Yeah, because there's all that.
Yeah, so Julianne Moore
at the start they go to the city and they've got what's his name?
Once again, Julianne Moore,
Vince Vaughn. Yeah, she had a big year.
Yeah, and Pete Postlethwaite, and like number 2 was great. I loved it. I didn't like the end of it, but I thought everything up until then was fantastic. I really enjoyed that one.
I like the moving of the main character over to Jeff Goldblum. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah. So, but then they got rid of him in number 3, and then fuck off, whoever is texting me. Jesus Christ!
It seems to be job offers from LinkedIn.
Yeah. Man, I regret posting what I did. Okay, anyway, it's all to do with that being number 3 on the podcast list.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it is podcast related. And moving on.
But anyway, yeah, so Jurassic Park 3. So Mummy Returns.
Yeah, not a fan.
I enjoyed it more than the third one. But Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
Which
Mildly underrated as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, look, I didn't know that John McClane was in it. Had I known that, I probably would have given it more credit.
It's a melodrama.
Yeah, definitely. Michael Bay's,
He's Titanic.
yeah. Ocean's 11.
Fair enough.
So the beginning of a franchise there. Shrek, another beginning of a franchise at number 4. Monsters Inc. at number 3, which I always think Pixar movies were always at the top. But I don't think Toy Story and Toy Story 2 were number 1s either. So number 3 is pretty good. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring at number 2, which I only saw 20 minutes over the cinema before I had to leave and puke due to a bad case of food poisoning.
Wow. Which I would have thought that was number 1.
Yeah. Well, number 1 is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Man. Yeah.
So what's gonna trump Tolkien? Baby Tolkien.
Well, yeah, that's right. Well, it's all about the rating, isn't it?
Yeah.
You throw a G-rated film out there, you got a bigger audience.
Yeah, that's right. And the major disappointment of the Harry Potter franchise, no Sean Bean, but he's there in Fellowship of the Ring, and he gets killed in true Sean Bean fashion.
And who would have known? I mean, I'm sure some people would have predicted, but Lord of the Rings would become what's considered one of the greatest films of all time. Like, it is considered one of the great classics up there with Gone with the Wind and Citizen Kane. Like, it's big.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, that's a top 10.
That's the top 10. And
So-
this is a big year for comedies.
It is. Before you get to comedies, can I do my horror thing?
Okay.
Run through some horror, and then I'll let you take over the rest. Devil's Backbone, Valentine. We said Hannibal, The Forsaken. Ghosts of Mars, Jeepers Creepers, Joyride, 13 Ghost, Bones, which that's an interesting one. It was originally a Tales from the Crypt movie, I believe. Arachnid, Brotherhood of the Wolf, The Bunker, Cradle of Fear, Dagon, Children of the Dead, Elvira's Haunted Hills, Frailty, From Hell, Jason X, The Mangler 2, Mimic 2, The Others, Tremors 3, and I'll go with Wishmaster 3 to tie that up.
So you wouldn't include Donnie Darko in as a horror movie?
I've got it on my list, but I don't consider it horror.
At horror.
It's more sci-fi.
I guess it's,
Yeah.
It's weird. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's an art film.
It's weird. Soul Survivor, did you say that one?
No,
Yeah.
but that's in there. There's probably heaps of other horror films, of course.
And Hearts in Atlantis, which was like the first, not really the first, but a Stephen King movie that kind of is a horror, but they've taken the part of the story that's not horror and made a movie out of it.
I found it really bizarre the way they adapted that one, that's for sure.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like that movie.
Yeah.
I think it's an underseen.
It feels incomplete to me, though.
Yeah, well, it's definitely
Yeah.
it's weird that it's the middle part.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does have that. It's weird because you're like, does it have a beginning? And it doesn't really have a proper beginning, and it doesn't have a proper end.
That was directed by Scott Hicks, I believe, the Aussie director that did Shine.
It'd be like, imagine if they just released Empire Strikes Back without Star Wars or Return of the Jedi. Like, what do you guys think? Why do we give a shit that he's the dad? That Darth Vader is Luke's dad. Well, it's fine. But yeah, as I said, it's a big year for comedies. There are some great ones. Saving Silverman, Recess, School's Out, or I think what was Saving Silverman called here first?
Evil Woman.
Evil Woman, that's right. No, it was Saving Silverman, and then they took all the standees away. 6 months later, Evil Woman comes out, and you're like, hang on a second.
Yeah.
I've seen this before. Heartbreakers, Say It Isn't So, the Farrelly Brothers comedy, Tomcats, Joe Dirt.
Tomcats, I just think of testicles when I think of Tomcats.
Yeah. Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles, that banger. Freddy Got Fingered.
Hell yeah.
The Animal that brought down a fake film critic.
Well, also, that took Michael Caton and put him in the American film industry.
Yeah, that was his big break after The Castle and stuff. And what did he go with? A Rob Schneider comedy.
Yeah. Well, do you remember back in the day, Australia had a TV show called The Panel, which the guys that directed The Castle created and hosted the Working Dog team. I know just talking to people that might not. But Rob Schneider and Adam Sandler and I think Chris Rock came down as guests on the panel, saying that they had a movie night and watched The Castle and instantly said, we've got to put that guy in our next movie. And that's how he got cast. It just so happened that The Animal was their next project.
And like, having said that, I would have thought Tyrion Moore would have been a much better casting for that particular role.
It's all about the vibe.
It's all about, it's the, so we got America's Sweethearts. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What an underseen banger that is. Shallow Hal, Black Knight, Corky Romano, Not Another Teen Movie, How High, Joe Somebody, The Emperor's New Clothes. That's not really that one of those kind of comedies. What's the worst that could happen? Do you remember this one
Vaguely.
with Danny DeVito and?
Oh yes, I do.
And it's like two assholes kind of have. It's like Changing Lanes, but a
Yeah.
comedic.
Danny DeVito's got these weird movies in between big movies like Drowning Mona and other things.
Death to
Like,
Smoochie and stuff like that.
Just squished in there.
Yeah.
Things to just they're like it's like having a bit of meat in between your teeth, and you discover it later on. You're like, a little bit of bonus.
Yeah. There's also some excellent action movies that came out this year. 3,000 Miles to Graceland,
Oh,
Exit
my
Wounds,
God, yes.
Swordfish, A Knight's Tale, Tomb Raider, the first one, Fast and the Furious, the first Fast and Furious movie, The Musketeer,
Texas Rangers.
and American Outlaws,
Yeah.
which were dueling films that came out in the same year. Black Hawk Down was the kind of big one. Not really an action film, but Mean Machine. The British version of
Pitch Perfect or whatever it was.
No, it's the Longest Yard.
Oh, Longest Yard, of course.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's in
yeah.
thing.
Vinnie Jones.
And one that I think was drastically underseen, and for obvious reasons, it was a I actually don't know what country it was from. I think it's Korean. Musa the Warrior. Did you ever see this?
I never saw it. I remember it in the video store, I believe.
Yeah, it was Madman brought it out on disc, and it came out in a fat pack, but it played at MIF. And it's a fantastic film. It's like a Homer's Odyssey type thing, like a Korean Homer's Odyssey, where there's it's basically they're a Korean delegation who have gone to the Chinese court where a coup has happened.
Okay.
And they've kind of been blamed, so they've got to escape back to, or they're Chinese and they're in Korea. Now I can't remember which way it is, but so basically it's just them on the run from like this army.
Okay.
Which is very good. Definitely one to check out. Also, this is the year of Amelie.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is an interesting one. Australia had some good films too.
Yep.
The Bank, Del Keith, the Waverley Cinemas stalwart. Because I believe they put money into it. That's why it played there.
Second mention on the show. Like it's the most it's ever going to get mentioned on any podcast, I'm sure.
La Spagnola. Lantana.
Yep.
Let's Get Skase. Do you remember when Skase was a thing?
Yeah, that had Lockie Hume in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when Skase ripped off a bunch of rich people and banks and the world went insane?
Do you remember when we had your Skases and your Alan Bonds and like all these,
Yeah.
that was great times, great times.
It's like they're the Australian versions of Trump. That's what they were kind of touted at the time. Like imagine had they just been able to keep their... I mean, like Trump... when after his first bankruptcy, the whole reason they go bankrupt, and pretty much the main plot line through Succession, is because a bank calls in its loan.
Yeah,
and of course they can never pay back the loans when the bank wants them to pay. When they say we need the money now. So it was had that bank not called in the loan, we could have. I mean, they both kind of ended up going retarded. Alan Bond and Skase.
Well, it felt like it started off as fake, and then then it turns out it was real.
Then it was real. Yeah, no one believed it.
No, that's right.
But Mallboy.
Yep.
The Man Who Sued God.
Love that one.
Billy Connolly.
Love that one.
Moulin Rouge. I don't know if that really counts as an Australian film. It's Baz Luhrmann, but
It is. It's an Aussie film.
yeah. I mean, look, they certainly took enough of Screen Australia's money. Mullet,
Yep.
Russian Doll, and
Yeah.
there's another one, but I'm not going to say
Did you
it
say he
because
died
I
with a
could-
falafel in his hand?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said it, but that did come out this year too.
Great
yeah,
year.
that was
Great year.
What was the other one that the guy that was based on a book, and there was another big movie and this was the kind of follow up that didn't do as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's another kind of.
But what I found interesting is that Noah Taylor was in that.
Yes.
And previously, he was in The Year My Voice Broke and Flirting, playing Danny Emblin, I think his name was, as the character. And they always promised a third Danny movie. And then He Died with a Falafel in His Hand came out, and his character's name was Danny. So a lot of us thought, oh, this is the third installment. And no, it's more like Dogs in Space.
And I feel like this was kind of. I don't know if it's true, but my memory of it is that he kind of had disappeared for a while, and this was his
Return.
come back as an adult. Like he had sideburns and a bit of a mustache, though he's also in Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, no, that's right.
And he's been playing that Tomb Raider role, like all the way up to Edge of Tomorrow.
And I think before this little comeback, he had played Adolf Hitler in Max. I think that came before
right.
this.
Right.
Anyway.
What a great cast.
Yeah, I know.
Casting of Noah Taylor as Hitler.
And which is all about his days as an artist and how it has that whole dilemma like what would happen if he had been accepted into art school. That's kind of what that's
so he does get accepted.
I can't remember, but I remember that was sort of the gist of it. Like there's Adolf Hitler, as an inspiring artist.
These landscapes are kind of okay. Yeah. Well, I was so angry before, now I'm fine.
That's right. So you've pretty much covered them all. My list this week was only stuff that left an impression on me, and I think you've covered most. A couple more I'd want to add to it. Life as a House, that really had a bit of an impact on me. The one with Hayden Christensen and Kevin Kline.
Some fantastic Mary Steenburgen nudity.
Yeah, The Majestic, really like that one. The Shipping News, another Newfoundland-themed film with so many people. I think Kate Blanchett.
Julianne Moore again.
Kevin Spacey, Julianne Moore, and
Kate Blanchett.
Judy Dench. Yep.
Judy Dench.
Yep.
Pete Postlethwaite.
Mulholland Drive.
Yes.
Focus, which I really like, with Greg Kinnear. It's the true story of the Hogan's Heroes guy.
Yep.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But anyway, it's a
what is the
Paul
guy?
Schrader.
The captain.
Paul Schrader directed it.
Bob
Crane.
Bob Crane. That's it.
Yep. You didn't. I don't think you mentioned Evolution.
No, I didn't. That did come out. The Head and Shoulders, the dandruff movie.
4 others. Yeah, I love it. I've got Rat Race.
Yes.
John Lovett's in that. Speaking of Hitler, do you remember when he's in the car and he's driving and the cigarette lighter goes in his mouth and he gets the shoe polish on his face?
That seems to happen to John Lovitz quite a bit.
Yeah, that's right. Bubble Boy, Osmosis Jones, and
Osmosis Jones.
Hedwig and the Angry Inch. That actually, I saw that 3 times in the cinema. That was a film I really got into. It was like a modern sort of Rocky Horror Show kind of feel, that one.
Do you remember Crazy Beautiful?
Yeah,
really
with
like that
Kristen
movie.
Stewart or Kirsten Stewart?
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst, that's right.
Yeah, and
yes.
the guy who would, what's his name? Jay Hernandez, who would go on to play Magnum P.I.
That's right.
He's the new Tom Selleck.
Alrighty. So we've pretty much milked that. Let's guess each other's favourites.
Yeah. Now, I've got so many because I really struggled this week.
Well, I've listed 6. If you can get 2 of them, I'll be impressed. I've only guessed 4 of yours.
I don't think so. After what you've just said during these things, which were the movies you really like, I'm like,
well, I've given you 2 at least.
In the thing, yeah, which aren't on my list.
No, but like I've revealed 2 to you.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
As we were talking.
Yeah, no, look at Hannibal and
yep,
and stuff, but that's not what I've written down.
No, okay.
I've written down.
Okay, go with what you've written.
Freddy Got Fingered.
It just fell out of the list, but that is tell you what, it's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Joe Dirt. Because we talk about it all the time.
It's not. It's painful not to have that in there, but yes, I love it.
Atlantis, The Lost Empire? No.
But I love it.
Yeah. Right. And Jeepers Creepers was the other one.
Yeah, no. I was never as big into Jeepers Creepers as everybody else. I still love it, but I wasn't like gushing over that one.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't fanboying like Clive Barker was.
Yeah. I really suck at these for picking your movies.
Well, I'm a bit of an enigma. I'm an anomaly.
Yeah.
You never can.
You're an enigma.
So I'll tell you mine before I guess yours.
Yeah.
Okay, The Pledge.
Okay, yeah, right.
Jack Nicholson, Hannibal, Evolution.
Okay.
Jesus, that is infinitely quick. Like,
I mean, it's great. I would have thought that you would have gone Say It Isn't So over Evolution because it's Farrelly Brothers.
No,
even though they both have Orlando Jones.
No. This is an infinitely better film in every possible way. I don't know why it gets shat on. It is just a great film. I would say a nearly perfect comedy. Originally going to be a Ghostbusters movie too.
That makes a lot of sense.
And if you watch them, if you watch it with Ghostbusters in mind, it makes a lot of sense. Then I had AI.
Yep.
Then I had Serendipity.
Jeez.
I love Serendipity. It is that and Return to Me are the 2 movies that just at that time just hit me in the right spot.
I do think that Anchorman owes a lot to Serendipity because his, Mr. Burgundy, Yaz Flute, that was a complete rip-off of the John Corbett character from Serendipity.
And then Session 9.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have picked any of those for you, which is so weird.
Okay, so I'm going to guess 4.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get a clean sweep.
I
may not. The Forsaken.
No.
Okay, well, you talk about that all the time.
I do talk about that because I talk about that all the time because I happened to see it on September 11 when the planes went into the Twin Towers. So it just comes up a lot more.
Okay, so if we do have the director on the show, which is a very likely possibility, is that...
I'm going to tell that story.
Okay, excellent.
That's why I believe that movie didn't do as well as it could have done, because it was just... I mean, although it's interesting, I don't know when.
That's what he's telling everyone.
There's lousy timing, but yeah, there's a lot going on in Forsaken.
What about I've got Ghosts of Mars?
Yes.
I've got Frailty.
No, but it should be.
Okay, and then the last one, Town and Country.
No.
That's very much a Ben film.
It is, but I actively disliked it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did not.
Okay.
I did not dig it.
Surprises me.
Town and Country, and what's that Larry Sanders one? The one where he's what women... It's not What Women Want, but it's where he's the alien who comes down and tries to get laid.
Yeah, I do.
That
What
one?
planet are you from, or something like that?
Yeah, both those movies, for me, kind of fall into that same character.
Okay.
No. I had Ghost World.
Of course.
Freddy Got Fingered.
Yep.
Saving Silverman.
Yep.
Exit Wounds.
Never would have guessed
the
that.
The best Steven Seagal movie ever made. 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
Who? Neil Blomkamp did the little effects on that. The
Ah.
little scorpion and all that kind of stuff running across the road.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That
at the
was
start, the title sequence and all that. He did that.
And that's a great opening title sequence.
Straight out of film school. First thing he did.
Bubble Boy.
Yeah.
Ghosts of Mars, which you got. Mulholland Drive.
Yep.
Amelie.
Yep.
Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Yeah. Good stuff.
America's Sweethearts. The Shipping News.
Yep.
Super Troopers. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
And Gosford Park.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Which Robert Altman, which is, it's the Robert Altman film that I've seen the most.
MASH is the one I've seen the most.
I would have said prior to the last couple of years.
Yep.
MASH is always my number one Altman film.
Yeah.
But when I actually go back and look at it from which have I watched the most, because up there with McCabe and Mrs. Miller, and like I love that film as well. Yeah. But I've seen Gosford Park more.
Okay. Well, 100% though, my favourite Robert Altman film is Shortcuts.
I've never seen Shortcuts, except for Julianne Moore's Bush.
Let's do a
which
movie
comes
night.
up on a lot of...
Let's do a movie night. Do you like Magnolia?
I love Magnolia.
Well, then you'll love Shortcuts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 100%.
Does anyone seduce the...
I'm not telling you anything. I've done that movie night with Fergus, who, if you're new to the show, he appears on the other table on the desk every now and then. Yeah, we did that as a movie night, and he was like, "Wow, this is an incredible film."
Yeah, I've always been meaning to check it out, because it's the one that, like, you know, the player and you know, even things like Cookie's Fortune and stuff. I could tell you what they're about. Yeah. I have no idea what Shortcuts is actually about.
Awesome. Well, it's Magnolia. It's like it's Magnolia was plagiarizing that essentially.
Yeah,
like
right.
all these stories that interconnect in a very similar.
Like Pulp Fiction rips off Mystery Train.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Not to say that I don't love Magnolia, but you know.
Yeah. Wow. Well, there you go. What a year. What a banger year.
Surely the cliff is coming.
Surely. I reckon. I don't think we're going to last part like 2010.
I've been saying this since the start. I've been saying this since the start.
I reckon 2010 is where movies went to die, but we'll see.
Yep.
I say that now with the memory of a sieve and no list in front of me.
I have been fooled before.
Welcome to Bonehead Weekly Fun Size, and this week we're going to do 2001. That's right, A Space Odyssey. Now, we're just going to talk about the movies from 2001, and I'd like to go first unless somebody... I got an honorable mention, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, I said I have no objections. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I have several objections, but nobody cares, so let's go.
This is not the best movie made this year, but I have such a soft spot in my heart for this. It's 13 Ghosts, guys.
Oh, I thought you were going for another ghost movie, so I'm glad you went this one.
There's several.
Did I say there was a petting zoo?
I thought about it. I thought it was just because of Carpenter, because it's the last kind of big theatrical film, but it's not. It's probably one of his least movies. No, 13 Ghosts is stupid, makes no sense, dumb as hell, but has some of the best ghost makeup effects of any haunted ghost movie of all time. So well that if you look at my Scarefest pictures last year, I took pictures of 13 Ghosts. It's 24 years old and it doesn't end. It's just a really enjoyable, dumb movie.
No, absolutely. Actually, that wasn't on my list, but yes, absolutely. I own it on DVD. The fact there's a backstory for every ghost that you can see on the special feature.
Yeah,
it's great.
All right, which one of you?
James, ladies first.
Well, in absence of them, I'll go. I was torn on this. I have some honorable mentions, but sorry for those of you not watching a video of this. Joe's getting licked, not by either Chattereye, by the way. I was torn between two, but I'm gonna have to go with one because there's not enough movies about this subject. I'm gonna go with From Hell.
Oh, it's a good one.
I mean, it's probably the closest Alan Moore adaptation that's been done.
Yeah.
And he still distanced himself from it, but it is just a great, creepy. Ian Holm gives a great performance, especially at the end. He's got lines in it; they're just so well done.
Yep.
And so, yeah, From Hell. If you've never seen it and you like Jack the Ripper, something's wrong with you. But if you're interested in the case of Jack the Ripper,
Chad.
Oh, guys, I want to go one way, but I got to go this way because this movie far exceeds the pick that I want to do. I loved Royal Tenenbaums.
It
was my
favorite divorce film. Yeah.
Yeah, it was my favorite movie of that year. It comes very tight race for another one, but it's Gene Hackman's performance in that was a chef's kiss. I mean, he didn't want to do that movie. He had no desire, but man, when the camera rolled, he nailed it. He was amazing.
We can't say it's your fault, but
also it's the only movie where Gwyneth Paltrow is actually tolerable.
All right, let's all do a really quick honorable mention. Does anybody have one? I have one, if you don't mind.
I got it.
Spielberg got a lot of shit for this movie, for especially the history, but AI, because I do think he should have left that boy in the end of that ocean, but AI is a better. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I do think it's a better movie than what people said. What, Chad? Were you going to say AI?
No, I just thought you were going another way.
Where do you think I was going?
For sake of time, we'll pass. But for my movie, I'm going to talk about Monkey Bone. I love Monkey Bone. God, it was hard between that and Royal Tenenbaums. So I went the artistic route because I'm a schmuck.
No, you did. Yeah, no, it's not that difficult. James, you have anything?
I have, Session 9, Frailty, and just to make you all upset, Super Troopers.
Frailty's a good one.
I thought Super Troopers was going to be your first. I was shocked.
Oh, Frailty.
No, I love Super Troopers, but it's not my favorite. Not at the top of the list.
Devil's Backbone. This has been Bonehead Weekly Fun Size.
That's good.
Nobody mentioned Lord of the Rings.
I never heard.
Well, it's not overly original.
They didn't. They shot that in Australia. The New Zealand people don't know about it. This is.
You ever see Bashki? He's a good one.
What the fuck, Joe? Ghosts of Mars is excellent, and I won't hear a word against it.
Did you see what happened to Joe during that?
Yeah. I know. I know what you're trying to get out of me. But he didn't. He had if Joe had ever actually listened to our show, he would have done it.
Yes. That's right. You've caught him out.
Yeah. He never listens to the show.
Mind you, all three of them could have jumped in there.
Yeah.
Opportunity knocks.
Because he got licked by a cat.
What does that mean?
At no point did he say, "He's licking me."
Two of us are very happy right now. Myself and Fergus, when he watches this. We're fans of that.
And everyone else needs to go watch Ravenous so they know what I'm doing.
Or just go to our TikTok channel because Fergus spliced it in.
Wow, excellent. But it happens several times. Yes. It's always good. I'm pretty sure it's before Memento because Memento I think is 2001. This was Guy Pearce's US break, Ravenous?
No, that was LA Confidential for sure.
Yeah, right, of course.
Yeah, that was his first.
But this is just his first kind of genre film.
He just shot through. Do you want to do the little intro bit for this segment? You did it last week. It was great. Perfectly timed as well.
I can't remember. It's the.
Look at that! Wasn't that glorious? That was great.
I was going to go. But
singed your eyebrows there, mate. Singed your eyebrows. He has no idea what we're talking about. Someone just got caught out not watching the show.
Joe.
Movie battle time.
So I believe this is your one.
Yep.
But I have been fooled before.
We had initially on our little spreadsheet of upcoming movie battles, we gone one on, one off, one on, one off. But I did a rearrangement somewhere to maybe it was for Glenn Triggs. We had to sort of facilitate
move stuff around. I just think that I put a bunch in.
You put a heap
like
in
there. There was a bunch, and then I just put a bunch in because they're completely unrelated to the show.
Yeah,
they can just go.
They
anywhere.
can be Yeah, it doesn't matter who did what. So we've got
Innerspace versus Dreamscape, which I'm assuming the link is Dennis Quaid. Is that
the
all?
link is Dennis Quaid. However, these films are actually thematically very similar.
They are.
Yeah. So I don't know if I put that connection together, but as I was watching Dreamscape, because I've seen both before, obviously, but Innerspace, very familiar with. Dreamscape, maybe a couple of times throughout my life.
I had never seen Dreamscape before.
Okay.
I'd seen it in the video store.
Yeah.
Always wanted to.
Yeah.
And for just some reason, just never did it.
So as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, man, this is very similar. Like you got Dennis Quaid playing the reluctant hero that gets essentially put into somebody's body, more or less. Like in a space, it's actually physically in the body. Dreamscape, he gets put into someone's dreams. Very, very similar. And they're only a few years apart, these films.
Yeah, I think 84 for Dreamscape and 87 for Innerspace.
I came into this thinking I'd have a definitive winner, and I do still have the same definitive winner. However, the runner-up is a much better movie than I remember it being. I enjoyed it so much.
And look,
and that would be Dreamscape.
I don't know if it's made it into the Steve Kostanski interview, but we did kind of bring it up with him.
Yeah.
And
we did. Yeah.
he does he has some not too pleasant things to say about Dreamscape.
Yeah.
And which really kind of put me off.
And at the time we had that conversation, you all just saw it. I hadn't revisited Dreamscape, so I was kind of going along with it. But now that I have, I'm like, hang on, like this is
it is a legit concern because it is like I had most of the reviews I'd read about it were pretty negative.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked it. I will say this: the one thing that did really jump out at me watching both films, when Dennis Quaid smiles, I was like, if Jack Nicholson had turned down the Joker, he would have been perfect. He's got the
particularly zero defect or whatever he says like that. But actually, like I think Innerspace is the better film, Joe Dante film. But that film kind of falls off at the end. It drops off for me, like when they get shrunk, the villains get shrunk, and like it gets a bit dumb. Like, obviously it's it's a Fantastic Voyage kind of movie, and it's already silly. I think it jumps the shark. Whereas Dreamscape is pretty consistent from start to finish. It's just not as great when it's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know when did Tim Burton kind of start really exhibiting Tim Burtonness.
Oh, that was right out the gates with even when he did the Aladdin thing with Leonard Nimoy, he was doing that shit.
That kind of stuff.
Frankenweenie and all that.
Because you know that staircase that he runs down in the first dream, I was like, this is right out of the Tim Burton playbook.
It is, I think. Yeah, I mean, Tim Burton kind of had been established, but you had other artists like even like Mario Bava and people like that doing that kind of surrealism and that Salvador Dali and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, it was like rotoscoping and all sorts of stuff in those special effects.
What I found fascinating, firstly, the cast is stacked in Dreamscape.
Yeah.
So you got Dennis Quaid, obviously, you got Max von Sydow, Christopher Plummer, Kate Capshaw, George Wendt, David Patrick Kelly, Eddie Albert, Chris Mulkey, and Peter Jason. Like, if you don't know their names, you'll know their faces.
It's amazing. What's that guy that you mentioned just before, Peter Jason? I can never remember his name.
Peter Jason?
Before.
Oh, Chris Mulkey.
Chris Mulkey. He... Like when in this, he's
Twin
like
Peaks,
he's like a primetime stud in this, and you look at him now and you're like, Jesus, time has not been kind. Sorry if you're listening to the show. You're fantastic. I love you in things.
Future guest.
Yeah.
But what I found really fascinating about this movie was it was written by Chuck Russell.
Yeah.
And the very next thing he did was Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and this is very Elm Street in many ways.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of in dream Freddy Krueger kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
because there's Snake Man.
Yeah. Oh, and that sequence where the kid is terrified to go back into his dreams, and Dennis Quaid's like, "I'm gonna help you get this." That was a great moment. Like, that whole sequence was fantastic. Even the train stuff. They had the freaking conductor from the Polar Express in this movie. Did you notice that similarity?
No, I didn't. I mean, I just got lost in David Patrick Kelly.
Yeah.
And Kate Capshaw was really strong in this. Like, in terms of when they hire a lot of actresses, like when you think Meg Ryan in Inner Space,
Yeah.
like Meg Ryan is just so adorable that you believe anything and everything that she, you just love. You just can't take your eyes off her.
Yeah.
But do I take her seriously as a journalist? Whereas Kate Capshaw, 100% as that kind of person in a science lab, which, considering that the only other thing I would have seen her in ever probably is Temple of Doom.
Yeah. Keep talking. I'm going to just... my phone's about to die and that could cut us off.
So it's a super interesting casting choice. And Max von Sydow and Christopher Plummer, two people who are genuinely famous for playing Nazis or in Nazi movies. Like
yes.
And in this, they're scientists. And had you asked me beforehand in the natural hierarchy who's above, I would have said, well, surely Max von Sydow's in charge. And no.
Yeah.
Christopher Plummer out-arseholes him like
tenfold.
Majorly. Yeah. George Wendt is fucking so great.
Yeah.
But, Vernon Wells.
I did not anticipate we'd be talking about Dreamscape more than Inner Space.
You know what? And I completely forgot Wendy Sharl, who is generally not someone I know, except for The Burbs. When she's...
another Joe Dante film?
Another Joe Dante film where she's Bruce Dern's wife.
Yeah.
Who all the neighbours perv on.
Oh, she's the supermarket chick, isn't she? In this, no?
In this, she's the other girl who's like, I've slept with just about everyone else in the store, and the other people in the store are like, well-known kind of gay actors and stuff like that. She's like, you're the only one that I was even half attracted.
This
to.
is possibly my favourite, if not top 3, Martin Short performances.
Yeah.
When he has the drunk session dancing and stuff, it's just glorious. His reactions to things being done in his body, priceless. The special effects are incredible.
Yeah,
like all the stuff inside the body. When the clamp goes over that thing with all the threads of the fibers coming off it, it's gross, but it's fascinating.
And then you watch his tear his way out of the heart, and you're like, surely that's going to cause some damage later on.
We had heartburn from it, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, and you can't forget Dennis Quaid's ass in the street when his towel falls off. Meg Ryan. It's a wonderful, wonderful movie. Steven Spielberg produced. He had a run in the 80s of producing movies on top of that. Yeah, it's pretty wonderful. Great soundtrack, all that kind of stuff. So that's definitely going to win this competition for me. But I'll tell you what, Dreamscape gave it a bigger run for its money than I anticipated.
Yeah. I mean, look, Dreamscape is a much more serious film. But yeah, look, I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. And it was funny because I haven't seen Innerspace since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Just haven't watched it. And it was amazing how much came back to me and how many kind of lines of dialogue and stuff that had entered into my everyday vernacular.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot that they came from Innerspace.
The cowboy.
And Robert Picardo. And I remember as a kid thinking he was super suave and was like a ladies' man. And it was a surprise when he plays the nerdy doctor in Voyager and stuff.
Yeah.
And then watching it now, I'm like, hang on a second, no. He's gross in this.
Yeah, that's right. With his cowboy boots and his jocks. Doesn't he have a hairdryer? And he holsters a hairdryer, I think, at one point. Yeah. And when he does that, his face does that transformation, I think he turns into Arnold Schwarzenegger for a second.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Because that's what is the evolutionary difference between Martin Short and Robert Picardo? Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's in the middle. Like if you were doing Michael Jackson's black or white music video, that's what it would...
Got to say too, first competition I ever won in my life was the video store. My local video store did an Inner Space competition, a colouring competition, and I won a pair of Inner Space glasses.
Do you still have that artwork?
No, I wish I had the glasses though. But do you know what? I felt like the champion of the world, right? These glasses meant everything to me. And thinking back on them, all it was green cellophane with little bits of elastic stapled to the sides that you just they were worth about 10 cents. They weren't actual glasses at all. I kind of feel like it was, when video stores, you get just the free shit from the supplier or the distributor. Yeah.
Done on the cheap.
Yeah. But anyway, I won them, and boy, that was the second best thing that had ever happened to me. Second behind, of course, my drawing being presented on the Early Bird show.
Wow.
They recognised it.
See, your bests are far better than mine. At the time, the best thing that ever happened to me was that I went to the local school fair, and I won a feet seat. Do you remember the feet
Ooh,
seats?
I do.
In one of those, like, spin the wheel and my number came up.
I will take a feet seat any day.
But I had never won anything in any kind of competition, like outside of sport things at school, which half the time they're like participation things. They're not anything special. But it was the first time I'd won like one of those competitions of chance, and I was elated.
Mate, feet seat. Do you remember the ad had like an Indian guru with his legs above his
thing,
ankle?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness me. Best thing about school fates too? The toffees.
The toffees.
The toffees.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should have done that. I didn't know you were going to pull out a Tommy gun.
A Tommy gun. All right, let's do it.
So, do you want to go first this time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is not directly tied with the fact we had Steve Kostanski on the show. It's one of those type of movies that I'm sure if he had a chance to remake, he fucking well would.
Right.
So I've gone for a movie from 1987. Title has no relation to the film whatsoever. It's called Blue Monkey.
Yeah, I remember this.
AKA Insect. That's a much better title.
Yeah.
It's a creature feature all about a bunch of people trapped in a hospital. When a patient comes in, he's been stung by a plant, and then suddenly like a grub comes out of his finger. Or no, grub comes out of his chest like an alien chest burster.
Yeah.
And that grows somewhere in like the tunnels or the air conditioned ducts or whatever. And the movie turns into Alien. And it's this giant ant. I'm going to call it an ant. They don't specify what kind of bug it is, but it looks like an ant.
It sounds a bit like Splinter.
It is a bit. I instantly thought of Keir Roche Turner's Sting recently.
Yeah.
And this is pretty cool. It's a long-winded movie. It takes a while before the creature effects take over, and once they do, it's on and it's fantastic. But this has John Vernon in it. Love John Vernon.
Is he a crusty old insert occupation here?
No, I mean, who would you think he would play in this?
Head of admissions?
Yep. And then you got Steve Railsback.
And let me guess, someone has a problem with their insurance.
You got Steve Railsback, who came out in an interview over the course of years saying this is one of the biggest regrets of his life. Now, I don't like this guy because he said that about 100 fucking movies now. Yeah. He's always saying, I regret doing that. And it's like...
He regrets everything in his career because he's not
He's a nobody. That's why.
I wanted to be Ben Affleck.
Yeah, anyway, so that shit me that he was in it. He's actually quite good in it. John Flaherty's in it, very comically. Like, he plays the husband of an expected mother.
Isn't he? He's in the doctor's waiting room of Innerspace.
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah, because he came up from Second City with Martin Short. And, Andrea Martin's in there too.
And Andrea Martin, yeah.
Don Lake, another great. You know, Don Lake, fantastic. He wrote Return to Me, of all things.
Wow.
I know, with, who's the director of that?
Of Return to Me? I can't remember. But let's just imagine.
Bonnie Hunt.
Let's imagine that David Duchovny's character from Return to Me.
Yeah.
Prior to becoming the award-winning architect of the zoo that he is, was also a hand model like he is in Evolution. It was the same character. Which I think they ripped off that whole Seinfeld storyline.
Yeah.
Where he's the hand mover. I was like, when I was
100%.
watching them going, you've fucking taken this from Evolution.
So Gwyneth Walsh is also in this, and a very, very pint-sized Sarah Polley is in it too. And one of the other kids, I swear... And it's not proven anywhere. There's no record of it, but I swear it's Wheels from Degrassi High as a little kid.
Right.
I can't remember that guy.
Sarah Polley's in another film that came out in 2001. Which obviously this is not.
Yeah.
She's had such an interesting career.
She's great. She was in the Anna Green Gables spin-off show, Road to Avonlea.
Right, as a little girl?
The lead actress, yeah. So she was the Anne character, like not Anne, but she was from the same town as Anne.
Right.
And she was about 8 years old, I want to say. It's a fantastic show. Kevin Sullivan, who made those Megan Fellow Anna Green Gables, made it.
Right.
And it had cameos from the Anna Green Gables cast. Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Alrighty, so Blue Monkey. The reference Blue Monkey is simply a kid has a dream about a blue monkey, and so the producers are like, "Oh, that's a great title for a movie."
Yeah, it stands out from the crowd, but Insect is much better.
Insect is much better.
But maybe they had Ticks. Was it coming out around the same time, and they were like, "We don't want We don't want to get people confused with ticks.
But there are other titles you could choose. You know,
plenty.
you don't
Blue
have...
Monkey is such a weird one.
That's right.
I could be wrong, but I think in my head, Vinegar Syndrome have released this on
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
it's had a recent release, and I can't recall. I think I watched it on a streaming platform, but it looked as good as like a Blu-ray. Like it was really great quality. I think even on YouTube, it's pretty sharp.
Yeah, right. Fantastic.
There we go.
Look, as I kind of mentioned before, I ended up rewatching Gosford Park because every week when I prepare the lists and the my picks, I always basically have a look through my movie collection at what movies I had that came out that year.
Yeah,
and I just didn't feel like watching anything, and so I just watch the beginning of Gosford Park, and next thing you know, it's 10 o'clock and I've finished the film. I fucking love it. It's so good. Kelly MacDonald. Kelly MacDonald, I don't know if I've said it on the show before, but for me, she is our generation's Jenny Agata.
100%.
Where every time you see her in a film, you're just like, it's not like she's playing sex kittens or anything like that, but you just like, wish I was married to Kelly MacDonald.
To answer your question, yes, you have said it on the show
Yeah.
several times. In fact, a couple of weeks ago when I talked about Trainspotting.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yes, I agree. 100%.
I've only got 5 stories, Glenn, and I have to trot them out repeatedly.
I also agree about Jenny Agata. So.
Yeah. I also rewatched The Musketeer in the end.
Which one?
The Musketeer, directed by Peter Hyams.
Oh, yeah.
With Justin Chambers and Mina Savari and Stephen Rance. Tim Roth's second film of the year after Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Catherine Deneuve turns up in this one as well. It's basically the Three Musketeers with the kind of Hong Kong wire work.
Yeah. So odd to have him directing it too.
It is odd, yeah. And it's a weird one too because they are in it. But usually D'Artagnan he's the fourth in the Three Musketeers universe. And the Three Musketeers are the main character. D'Artagnan kind of is always the kind of main character. But in this one, the Three Musketeers are kind of in the background. They're there, they whinge a bit, but they're not. They're nothing special. But yeah, look, it's just fun. It's just a fun,
I know
fun action movie.
You enjoy this stuff. What do you make of the Paul W.S. Anderson Three Musketeers?
The most recent one,
the one with Mila Jovovich.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. Like, maybe concentrated too much on the special effects stuff and not as much on the sword fighting.
That's what he does.
Stuff. But that's what you get if you want a Paul W.S. Anderson movie.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to do with it.
We both struggled on his name.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's similar to if he had done another Alexandre Dumas, like a Count of Monte Cristo or a Robinson Crusoe kind of thing. That's that would be his take on it. Mm-hmm. And there's room in my heart for all of them.
Yeah, he's a bit of a Rennie Harlan. Like you could interchange their names on any given film, I reckon. And, you'd believe they directed it.
But the one that I watched that I have never seen before, that I've been wanting to see since 2001, is The Breed.
Oh, the David Cronenberg film?
No. This is
the dogs.
Similar.
The dogs. No,
this is It's directed by Michael Oblowitz.
Not that one.
No, not this one. No, it's a vampire film.
Okay, I haven't.
It's LA Confidential meets not Twilight, but like
I get where you're
vampires.
Going.
John Carpenter's vampires.
Yeah, right.
But it's it stars Bokeem Woodbine. Once again, his second film of the year after 3,000 Miles to Graceland. But he's the lead in this one. Adrian Paul, Bai Ling, and Reed Diamond.
I do know this one.
Pops up from
my
Life
video
on the
store days. I haven't seen it, though.
It's a DTV
Yep.
direct-to-video title.
Yep.
Of course, Adrian Paul is not starring in anything that's not direct-to-video. As much as great as he is in this. But it's basically like it's kind of set in an alternate reality, kind of semi-futuristic film, but it's also a film noir.
Yep.
But it's like the 40s never kind of ended. Like they all drive kind of old cars.
Yep.
It's almost as if it is set in Germany before just after World War II, where it's kind of there's the Russian sector, the American sector, the international sector. They'd kind of divided the city up into four parts. But in this series, vampires exist. They've revealed themselves to us. There's a synthetic drug that they take, which means they don't feed off humans anymore. They don't have to.
Yep.
Though they are still super strong and all of that sort of stuff. But there is a vampire serial killer going around, and Bokeem Woodbine is the human detective who has to team up with Adrian Paul. And they're kind of like weird Orthodox Russians or Hasidic Jews, the vampires. They kind of, they live in a kind of community that...
Like gypsies.
Yeah. And it's super weird and quite a lot of fun. Like, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. Bai Ling, of course, doesn't keep her clothes on for long, yet you don't see anything. She's a master at that. Although there is quite a bit of nudity in the film, just not hers. There's some good. There's a lot of throat cutting and that kind of thing, and
cool
and biting and stuff. Everything you want from a vampire
You learn
film.
something every day, because I just read that the film itself was edited by Emma E. Hickox, who is the sister of Anthony Hickox, and I didn't know that she existed, and now I do. Which the Hickox clan are quite large.
Yeah, you can check out what other films that she's
done
edited.
Quite a few, from Bird on a Wire to The Hard Way
Wow.
to Mr. Jones to
The Hard Way and Bird on a Wire.
Blue Crush, Honey, The Jacket, Cheaper by the Dozen 2, Centurions 2, Rock of Ages. What's the most recent one?
When you
she's
say
done?
Honey, do you mean the dance movie with
Yeah,
Jessica Alba?
I certainly
Wow.
do. And most recently, Disenchanted, with is the sequel to whatever.
Enchanted?
The fucking Disney one with
Amy Adams?
Yeah.
Enchanted, yeah.
Enchanted, yeah.
I love that film.
Yeah. Have you seen part 2?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No.
All right, cool.
I don't know. I enjoyed Enchanted. I don't see what the point of a sequel would be. But good on them for trying. Good on them for just not admitting defeat when they've run out of good ideas. / it's not that they've run out of ideas for new films. It's that they just don't have the balls to make them, because they can't go to their board of directors and explain to them why they took a punt on a unknown entity that's not already a proven IP.
What's that? I hear. Is that the music I hear?
Time to end the show.
That's
that
right.
music
Yeah.
playing us out.
Just giving myself an edit cue right there.
It's the music from the Academy Awards when they want you to stop making your speech. Time to go. Once again,
I need like a digital hook.
Yeah, pull us up. Once again, goodmoviemonday.com. Find us there with all our links to all our social media. Like, subscribe.
Thanks for being a new
Tell
follower.
your
If you're
friends.
new.
If you're new, if you've never seen us before, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, they're
but-
one and done.
Yeah.
Don't blame you.
But write us a review on iTunes. Why not?
It's been a while.
Just do it. It's been a while. One that mentions me. One that is done when I've joined the show.
Yeah, that last review probably said that Keith is great.
Yeah.
Former host.
The guys know their stuff, and even though they don't always agree with each other, it's always insightful. And I'm like,
Is that what the review was?
yeah, that's basically what the review says. And I'm like, it could be talking about us,
I think it probably was.
but I'm not. I know that for a fact that I'm not in any way insightful. When you talk about a film that I don't like, I just like, what? My voice goes up a couple of octaves, and that's about as insightful as the opposition gets.
And then I'm like, well, I'm not allowed to like it?
Yeah.
It's my opinion, man.
I was like, yeah, of course you are. I'm allowed to be surprised by it.
And Fergus hates where mum and dad fight.
Yeah. See you next week.
See ya.